Welcome to the Binary Atlas channel where I discuss everything technology from electric vehicles, solar panels, to things for the home. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing the Ford F-150 Lightning. Specifically, I want to drill down into the problems I think I see in the pricing, not only from Ford when it comes to MSRP, but from the dealer markups and the way dealers are handling not only the new Ford F-150s, but also the used ones as they come into the lot. So if you like the content, I would really appreciate a subscription, a like button, and also hit the bell button to make sure that you see when new content comes out. All right, let's get into it. All right, so since the debut of the Ford F-150 Lightning, it's been a problem. And what I want to focus on is dealer markups. Now, is it a widespread problem? In my belief, yes. Is it happening to everyone? No. I have several stories that I will go through during this little video about people who have not had dealer markups, who have been able to go in and either pick up their reservation or pick up a truck off the lot. Can you get one at MSRP? Yes, you can. I mean, it is possible. Do you have to go out of your way to find that truck at MSRP? Yes, I believe you do. So again, do your own research, but I have done plenty of research. I've been searching all the online sites. I have been all over eBay Motors. I have been all over Car Edge and all kinds of other places to find all the stuff. I've been to dealers' websites individually all over my state and in the tri-state area around me. I have conducted several interviews with people who have had the same trouble getting their Lightning truck. I have talked to people over Reddit. Now, again, I got both good stories and bad stories, and I would like to go over all the information with you so that you're aware of what the market is like. All right, so what are the markup ranges I am seeing? I am seeing markups between $10,000 and $20,000 over MSRP. Now, over MSRP can be taken with a grain of salt, right? I also believe that Ford's MSRPs, which have gone up by $10,000 to $15,000 since their original launch of what the prices would be, is also pretty high for a truck, in my opinion. But we're talking strictly about dealer markup. So the dealer gets the truck on the lot, and it is 10 to 20K overpriced. Now, there was a really good video where it was talked about how dealers are getting these trucks. I'll link that video in the description below. The guy did a great job talking about it. You should really watch it. But basically what's happening right now is Ford is not making trucks for the dealers to put on their lot. All right. When it comes to the F-150 Lightning, they have so many reservations and they are still not churning them out at a very good pace. So the only time you're going to find an F-150 Lightning for sale on the lot is if a person ordered it and when it came in, they decided not to buy it. Now, the reasons for not buying right now, there's several of them. Again, guy that I'm going to link below goes into much greater detail than I am. But basically, a person orders a truck, they go in for delivery, and they are told, that the truck is now not the dealer's fault, right? Ford raised the prices, but the truck is now about 10 to 15,000 more expensive than they originally thought it was going to be. They find out that interest rates are at 8 to 10%, and they decide that the truck just isn't worth it, so they walk away. The dealer will take that truck and place it on the lot, and then the dealer will mark it up $10,000 to $20,000. Now, again, I went out to Reddit and some of the forums on Reddit, and I put out a feeler for people who could give me some information so that I could have multiple sides of the story right when I made this video. Some people had no issues whatsoever. The dealer committed to MSRP, and when they showed up to pick up their truck, they got their truck at MSRP. There was no haggling. There was no problems. That is not always the case. Another person told me how they went in to pick up a Pro, which is the low tier truck, right? And the dealer marked it up 6,800. I'm sorry, 5,800 over MSRP. I had another person who said that they bought a mannequin. And if you do not know what a mannequin is a truck that the dealer buys, but they have to commit for that truck to be a showroom slash give it a test drive vehicle for at least 6 months before they're allowed to sell it. That's what Ford did with the Lightnings. They wanted to make sure that if you wanted to reserve one, that you got a chance to drive one, because they wanted people to be more committed to buying the truck. So this guy found a mannequin which had 6,000 miles driven on it, and the dealer still wanted $13,000 over MSRP. I found a mannequin that had about 4,000 miles on it, and they wanted MSRP for it. And traditionally, that's not how mannequins work. Traditionally, you get a new truck, new-ish, but for a used price because it has been driven. The dealer I dealt with said, no, we don't care that it's been driven. We could easily sell this for 10K over. We're not budging off MSRP for this truck. So I walked away, but that's the kind of stuff we're seeing right now. Now, here is how I am seeing prices moving, right? So I told you, you're either seeing Lightnings on the lot that are either A, pickups that have not been picked up by their owners. The owners decided to back out of the deal. Or you're finding people who have owned it for less than 6 months and decided, I don't want this truck. And so they take it back. Here is the breakdown of a truck I followed. This was an F-150 Lightning. It was a Lariat, and it was used. It was even marked used on the site, right? So at 12/29/2002, so, right before the end of the year, they had it listed at $91,772. By the 31st of January, they had it marked down to $87,588, and now it is marked down to $85,888. So what you can see here is that dealers are trying to get that over MSRP pricing so they can make a killing, but they're realizing that people aren't going to do that, so prices are starting to drop. And I wanted to take you through another little story that I found. So I found this truck. It's in my state. I got the VIN number off of it, and I went and did a VIN history lookup on it. And the VIN history was really, really weird. So this truck had changed dealerships 3 times. So we're going to call it dealership A and dealership B. All right. So it listed at the first dealer for $119,985. And just so you know, this isn't a Platinum. This is a Lariat. This is at least $20,000 to $30,000 over. Okay. But then the VIN number history shows that it went to dealer B. And at dealer B listed it at $88,888. I guess they thought they were being clever with all the eights. But it gets even more fun. So the next price track history by the VIN number shows that it went back to dealer A and listed it at $108,985. Okay. Then it drops in price at dealer A to $99,900. Then it gets sold back to dealer B and gets listed at $101,165. And then it stays at dealer. So right now it is currently still at dealer B, and it is at $85,885, right? I could not find the sticker for this car. I tried several resources to try to go find the sticker, so I'm not really sure what MSRP is. On a 2022 Lariat, MSRP should be between $69,000 and $75,000, depending on what packages are on it. So I still think this is over MSRP, but I do not have the sticker to confirm that. All right, so let's have a little chat about what's going on. Now, this is my own personal views. I encourage you to do your own research, go out and try to find what you think's happening. You should always do that when you're trying to buy a new vehicle, regardless of if it's an electric vehicle or a gas ICE vehicle or whatever. But if you have more stories, please share them in the comments below. I would appreciate that. Talk about your experiences and what you're finding. But what I believe is happening is I believe it's true that Ford can't produce the trucks fast enough. They've got more reservations than they have trucks. But I believe a lot of people, when they made that reservation, the trucks were a lot cheaper. We were told by Ford that when you ordered or pre-ordered, reserved their lowest tier truck, which is the Pro, that's what you consider your work truck, right? It's got cloth seats, vinyl interior, no frills, no bells. That's your work truck, right? They advertised that truck starting out at $49,000. That truck is now $59,000 if you try to buy or reserve a 2023. Their next tier up, I don't know if you guys are familiar with trim levels on Ford, but Ford usually goes Pro is like their stripped down work truck, and then XLT is like their bottom tier consumer vehicle that has the least bells and whistles on it. It goes up to Lariat, which, has better interior, leather, better sound system, just heated seats, things like that. Then you go up to the Platinum level. Platinum has absolutely everything you could imagine on a vehicle, and that's kind of how Ford does their trim levels. They raised it by $10,000 to $15,000, so now if you go in, you can't buy a XLT truck for XLT prices. Your XLT truck is 59, is like, 60 something $1,000. So I believe Ford is, setting up a situation where, one, people are going to go into the Ford dealership to pick up their truck, and they're going to realize that they can't afford it. They're going to realize that you're taking on too much negative equity just by getting into this truck, and that if it doesn't do everything you need it to do, you're not going to be able to trade it in. And I think that's going to hurt Ford in the long run. I think it's going to hurt electric vehicles in the long run. I don't tow a bunch myself. My family and I have been camping, but we usually rent a camper. We don't own one. We don't tow a lot. But I have seen lots and lots of stories online about the mileage being cut in half, which isn't an EV problem. That's a normal problem for any truck. You haul something really heavy with a truck, your mileage gets cut in half. The last time I went on a vacation and we towed a camper, we used a Toyota Tundra at the time, and it cut it by at least half. But I have to admit, there's a lot more gas stations around, right? So you pull into a gas station, you fill up, you're on your way. Not so much with an EV. I think that Ford, when they put out a truck that on a standard battery only gets 230 miles, on a more expensive, much more expensive, 10 grand more expensive extended range battery only goes up to like 300. That's not enough miles. We'll see what happens in the electric truck space. The Chevy Silverado, which I have a reservation for, is supposed to have 400 miles on a charge when it comes out. The Cybertruck from Tesla is supposed to have 400 to 500 miles when it comes out. If those numbers are correct, then if you're towing something and you cut that range in half to 200, that's not so bad. That's still really doable. I've owned an electric vehicle for several years now. We have a Tesla Model 3. We've taken plenty of trips in it and had no trouble charging and things like that. It's not as bad as everybody thinks it is. I don't have range anxiety when traveling in an electric vehicle, which is one of the reasons why if I decide to get a truck, I want an electric truck because I want to stay electric. I love having electric. But if you are a tower, then yeah, that's going to be a huge problem for you, and you should probably skip the Lightning and wait for the next series of trucks, whether that be a better battery on the Ford Lightning or whether that be the Silverado. Ram is putting out a truck that's going to be electric. They haven't really announced any numbers on it that I could find. If you know those numbers, put those down in the comments below, but I haven't seen any numbers on it. We'll see if Chevy actually has those kind of range numbers when it comes out, and then we'll see what Tesla does. Tesla is supposed to start producing the Cybertruck this year, and we'll see how that fleshes out. So anyway, this is Jonathan, and on behalf of the Binary Atlas channel, I appreciate everyone that stuck along in the video this long. Again, if you have things you'd like me to talk about, vehicles you'd like me to review or talk about, please put those in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.